In today's video, we are diving into the top 10 finance formulas every analyst or investor should know in Excel. So let's begin with the formula number 1. The first formula is the PMT formula, which is used for the loan payment calculation. PMT calculates the periodic payment for a loan based on constant payments and a fixed interest rate. This is the syntax. PMT, bracket is opened. First is the rate of interest, then the period, and the principal value of the loan. These three are mandatory arguments, whereas FB and type are the optional arguments. The first argument is the rate of interest, which is 10% in this example. NPER is the period, which is 5 years, but when you will put NPER, you should give it in months. So it will be 5 into 12. And the PV is the principal value, which is 5 lakhs in this case. So for a loan amount of 5 lakhs with annual rate of interest 10% and 5 years of tenure, the PMT formula is to be written like this. PMT 10% by 12, 5 into 12, which is the months, and 5 lakhs is the principal value. So let's calculate periodic payment or EMI for this loan. PMT, within the bracket, we'll select this cell divided by 12. So this is the monthly interest rate, comma, tenure, which is 5 multiplied by 12, comma, and then the principal amount of the loan, that is 5 lakhs. We are omitting the optional arguments like FV and type, but you should know what they are. FV is the future value or a cash balance you want to attain after the last payment is made. So in this case, if we omit FV, then it is assumed that the value of FV is considered as 0. So we want to repay the entire loan amount. And type is another optional argument. If it is 0 or omitted, then payments are due at the end of the period. And if it is 1, then payments are due at the beginning of the period. So that is also not much important. So let us close the bracket and hit enter. You have got the value of minus 10,624. This is the value of EMI for this loan. You can change the principal amount to any value, say 10 lakhs, and the annual interest rate as 9%, and the tenure to 10 years. So this will be the revised value of the EMI. So you can compare the EMI of various loans with different terms and conditions and get the amount of EMI to check which loan is to opt for. This result is negative because it is a cash outflow. Add a minus sign in front of the loan amount. This value will be positive. Hope this was useful. So we will move to the next financial formula, that is CUMIPMT, which is the cumulative interest payment. And it calculates the total interest that you have paid over a range of periods for a loan or lease. The syntax is CUMIPMT, and within the bracket, first the rate of the interest, then NPER, which is the period in months, then the principal value, and then the start period followed by the end period. Start period and end period defines the range for which you want to get the interest payment of that loan. So if you are interested to know how much interest you have paid for a loan from the beginning to 1 year, then you need to put 1 as the interest paid from month and 12 as the interest paid 2 months. So the start period will be 1 and end period will be 12. This is how you write this formula, CUMIPMT, within the bracket. First the rate of interest divided by 12, then comma, then the tenure is in months only. Here it is 60 months. If it was in years, then you have to multiply it with 12. Then comma, and the principal value of the loan, that is 5 lakhs, comma, the start month, comma, the end month. The last argument is type, for which only 0 or 1 can be put. If you put 0, then it will be considered that the EMI is due at the end of the period, and if you put 1, then the EMI is due at the beginning of the period. Let us put 0 here and close the bracket and hit enter. This is again showing the value in negative because this is a matter of repayment. Cash flow is cash outflow. From this formula, what we can understand, you have to pay 46,348 rupees as interest payment for this loan starting from the first month to the 12th month. Okay, so let's move to the third financial function, which is CUMPRINC, which is cumulative principal payment. It is more or less similar to the earlier one, that is CUMIPMT, but that was for the interest payment, and this one is for the principal amount paid over a range of periods for a loan or lease. Right? CUMPRINC, open the bracket, select the rate of interest divided by 12, comma, the tenure, it should be in months. Here it is already in months. If it was in years, then you have to multiply it with 12, comma, then the principal loan amount, comma, the starting month and the ending month is 0, signifying that the EMI is due at the end of the month. So close the bracket and hit enter. And it will show you 81,134 rupees, which is a cash outflow that you have paid as the part of the principal repayment over a range of first month to 12th month, that is the first year. With this, you also get to know how much principal you will pay starting from the 13th month to the 24th month. That will be 89,630 rupees. With this, you can get a more detailed view of your loan at different point of time during the loan period. So let's move to the next formula. Next financial function we'll talk about is IRR, which is internal rate of return. This gives the actual return percentage per year for your investment. So if you are a bond investor or invests in different type of schemes, then this formula will be of help to you when entering into a new investment. Suppose for an investment with an agency, you are paying 50,000 rupees to them at the beginning of the investment, and then they promise you to pay 5,000 at the end of the first year, 10,000 each at the end of the second and third years, 15,000 at the end of fourth year, and 20,000 at the end of the fifth year, and concluded by paying back 25,000 at the end of the sixth year. So you are giving them 50,000 and getting back 85,000 over a span of 6 years. So what is the actual rate of return you are getting? It is difficult to calculate if the investment is spanning across a wide range, but you can easily calculate that with the help of the IRR formula. Type equals to IRR within the first bracket. You should just define the range, that is minus 50,000 to 25,000 at the end of the sixth year. Close the bracket and hit enter. And this is the actual rate of annual return that you are getting from this investment. If in any year there will be no return from that investment, simply keep that 0, but you must keep that year also within the range. You cannot simply delete this. If you delete this, then it will show you an incorrect value of the return. So let's move to the next formula, which is XIRR, and it is a more accurate formula for uneven dates. The earlier formula IRR was for even dates, but in case of investments like mutual fund or stock investment, cash flow doesn't occur at regular intervals. Here is an example table. Suppose you have paid 2 lakhs to an agency or a fund, and you are getting return of 25,000, 30,000, 35,000, and so on at some specific dates which are uneven. In this case, to get the actual rate of return of your investment, you need to type XIRR, open the bracket, select the range of the values, comma, followed by the range of the dates. Close the bracket and hit enter. And in this case, actual rate of return on your investment is 14.08%. You can change these figures or the dates to know what is the actual percentage of return that you are getting. Suppose we are changing this as 0. So the actual rate of return drops to 9.83%. And suppose we are getting 1 lakh at the end of the investment. This actual rate of return is rising to 16.55%. So with this formula, you can actually judge an investment over another and take the right decision, because this formula is perfect for real world investments like mutual fund or stock market investments. It is very useful for you. Let's move to the next formula, which is rate. With rate formula, you can calculate the interest rate of an investment or loan based on the payments and period, and you can actually compare 2 loans or 3 loans or more than that based on the terms and conditions. Suppose you are taking a loan of 5 lakhs. One bank is offering you a monthly payment of 18,000 over a period of 31 months, and another bank for the same amount is offering you the monthly payment of 19,000, and the range in this case is 30 months. So which bank is offering you less interest rate? You can judge that with the rate formula. Put equals to, then rate, open the bracket. In this case, the tenure will be the first argument. Put that, comma. Next is the monthly payment, comma. Then the loan amount. You have to put one negative sign in front of that. So at the end, the remaining arguments are optional. So close the bracket. And one thing you have to keep in mind, that you have to multiply the entire output of this function with a 12. Hit that, and you are getting the actual interest rate of this loan if this is the terms of the bank. And for the second one, just copy this formula and paste over there. So in the second case, the interest rate of the loan is 10.41%. And so the first bank is offering you less interest rate. With this formula, you can take the right decision while taking any loan. Let's move to the next formula, which is NPER. NPER actually returns how many period in month or year it will take to repay or grow an investment. So in case you are taking a 3 lakhs rupees of loan and the rate of interest is 9% per annum and the monthly EMI is 10,000, these three things are fixed. Then with NPER, you can get what is the duration you will take to repay the entire loan. NPER, open the bracket. Here the rate of interest divided by 12 to get the monthly interest rate, the monthly payment or EMI with a negative sign in front of that, then comma, principal value of the loan. Close the bracket and hit enter. And it is showing you the period that it will take in months to repay the entire loan. The next function is PV, which stands for the present value of future cash flows. It finds the current worth of a future amount or a series of payments. The syntax PV, open the bracket, the rate of interest, the period, then the PMT, and these two are the optional arguments, FV and type, that we have already discussed earlier. How to write that? Equals to PV, open the bracket, the rate of interest, comma, the tenure, comma, the annual payment. Close the bracket and hit enter. This is actually perfect for valuing the bonds or investments with fixed returns. A similar formula is FV, which is the future value of an investment, which calculates how much an investment will grow over time with fixed payments and interest rate. So this is also a similar case, just you have to write FB, open the bracket, this annual rate of interest divided by 12, comma, tenure. Here the tenure is given in years, so you need to multiply it with 12 to get it in months, comma, the monthly investment. Close the bracket and hit enter. So if you invest 5,000 rupees every month for a tenure of 10 years with an annual rate of return of 8%, then your corpus will be growing to 9,14,730 rupees. So now you know how the financial influencers tell you the corpus after end of the investment. So the next and the final formula for today's video is DB, which is depreciation of an asset. Calculating the depreciation of an asset for a specific period is very much important when you are into purchasing equipment or a similar kind of an asset. DB calculates the depreciation of an asset for a specific period. So let us calculate the depreciation of an equipment costing 10 lakhs rupees, having a salvage value of 1 lakhs rupees and expected life of 5 years. And we will calculate the depreciation of this equipment after a period of 1 year. The formula will be DB, within the bracket, the first argument will be the cost, the second argument will be the salvage value, next is the expected life, and then the period after which the depreciation will be calculated. So close the bracket and hit enter, and this is the amount of depreciation of the 10 lakh rupees machinery after 1 year. So after 1 year, the value of the machinery will be 10 lakhs minus 3,69,000, that is 6,31,000. And there you have it, the 10 most powerful finance formulas in Excel. Master this and you will handle any loan or investment with confidence. If you have found this useful, please subscribe to our channel for more such useful videos. Thank you. Let's catch up in the next video.